Dearest Mother, I'm about to embark on a great adventure. I have learned that Tom Chaney has fled into the wild, and I shall assist the authorities in pursuit. You know that Papa would want me to be firm in the right, as he always was. So do not fear on my account. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. The author of all things watches over me, and I have a fine horse. Kiss little Frankie for me and pinch Violet's cheek. But Papa's death will soon be avenged. I'm off for the Choctaw Nation.
The homeland of the Choctaw is a foreign land to Maddie Ross. And yet True Grit finds a way to make it a foreign land to us, too. At the beginning of the film, we rotate comfortably between the same few locations in Fort Smith, watching Maddie negotiate with Stonehill in his shop, spend her nights at her Grandma Turner's house, and try to convince Cogburn to hunt down Tom Chaney. He seems as though he won't budge, but when he finally agrees, right out of the gate, we are catapulted at what feels like lightning speed into the wild. We go from seeing all of the same places in town to seeing locations in the wilderness no more than once, moving from Bagby's store to the hanging corpse, and so on, until they reach Tom Chaney. Maddie's control of the situation in the town is lost in the wild, as she's forced to rely on Cogburn's drunken navigation for the duration of the chase, who uses a whiskey bottle of all things to mark a checkpoint. Landscapes blend into each other, both figuratively and literally, with the frequent use of cross-shot dissolves making it impossible for us to determine how far they've traveled. And it's easy to get the feeling that, without Maddie's insistence, they'd never find Chaney with Cogburn and LaBeef's, let's say, lack of urgency.
There! My bullet!
Your bullet? If you hit what you aim at, explain my shoulder.
Gentlemen, shooting cornbread out here on the prairie is getting us no closer to the Ned Pepper gang.
One more! This'll prove it!
This dynamic is completely flipped on its head in the film's climax, when a venomous snake sinks its fangs into Maddie's hand. Cogburn takes off on Little Blackie in search of help, pushing the horse to the point of collapse. When he's forced to put him down in order to save Maddie, the sudden awareness of mortality grounds us in the here and now. I couldn't help but think from all this imagery of the short story No oyes ladrar los perros, about a father who tries desperately to save his son in the night. And the cross dissolve between shots of his wheezing face and the landscape around him raises the stakes, as every second is critical to Maddie's survival. At last they arrive at Bagby's store, the first stop and the last stop on their journey through the wild, a sign that they found their way back to civilization and the realm of law and order.
I'm grown old.
If you were to assemble a dream team for exacting revenge in the Wild West, something tells me you wouldn't pick a drunk U.S. Marshal, a blowhard Texas Ranger, and a stubborn girl for the job. But think about it this way. You do need someone who knows the land, and someone who knows the target, and someone who knows why they want revenge, deep down in their heart. You'll find that they might not always work the best together, but that in the end, their individual flaws are overshadowed by the grit that they have as a team. True grit.